Already as a little child, I enjoyed drumming on all kinds of things and getting on people's nerves. I think 1992, at the age of 4, I took my first musical lessons, which were actually not at the drums, but at the piano. This was when I learned all the musical basics, like notes, rhythms, song structures, and so on. However, as much as I liked playing the piano, which actually wasn't that much, it felt like this wasn't the one instrument I would like to dedicate my life to. So, at the age of 12, I started drumming in a school orchestra, but wasn't really motivated, barely practiced at all, and didn't have the feeling that this was the one thing I wanted to do. It was not until the age of 16, in 2005 I think, when I experienced metal music for the first time. A friend of mine and I went to the cinema and watched the movie Alone in the Dark. And during the end credits, there was the song Wish I Had an Angel from Nightwish. Also, when I bought the DVD later, there was a bonus, a video clip of the song Vredesbyrd from Dimmu Borgir. This was a turning point for my drumming and actually for my whole life. So as I discovered metal and extreme metal music, I knew that this kind of drumming was exactly what I wanted to do. I instantly fell in love with the energy of the music and the fact that drummers apparently didn't need to hold back all the time. And from this moment on, I began to practice a lot. I had the vision to become one of the drummers that I was looking up to. So this was basically the start of my drumming career. So there was a dream, a vision, but I had no tools. I was practicing almost every day and made some progress, but I didn't really know where to start, what to focus on, and how to practice in general. My mother wanted me to take drum lessons, and I went to some different teachers, but none of them were into metal drumming, and I was really stubborn and said that I would just learn everything myself. But one day she came to me very excited and told me about an awesome drummer named Peza Budnari, who also teaches drums and who had his studio just around the corner. However, I was so stubborn at that point that I didn't want to go to him because, naive as I was as a teenager, I thought that there would be nothing I could learn from him because he probably couldn't play blast beats anyway. So I really had to get forced to go there, and after some time and countless discussions, I finally took a trial lesson with him. This was the next big turning point. He didn't even know the genre of extreme metal drumming even existed, but the techniques that he uses and teaches have an incredible potential in an extreme metal drumming context, especially for blast beats. I was completely blown away by his insane speed and control. So I began to learn and to adopt the techniques to my drumming. And these are actually the techniques that I still use today. This really improved my drumming dramatically. Also, he showed me really useful tips and exercises. However, there were also a lot of new challenges. Since Peza had never been an extreme metal drummer, there were some aspects that I just had to figure out for myself. For example, I learned the foot technique from him, but I had to figure out for myself how to apply it to a really fast and consistent double bass drumming. Also, as another example, how to gain a lot of stamina at high speeds, how to play fast blast beats, or how to use drum triggers later on, and a lot of other things. Back at this time, there simply weren't much sources to get knowledge regarding extreme metal drumming. YouTube was very small back then and one of the only places to get infos for this genre at all. So I spent many hours searching for every video I could find where I would see someone play double bass or blast beats. strong inspiration from the music I was listening to, as well as conversations with other drummers and reading and watching a lot of interviews, I started developing my own practice routines and went through many trials and errors before I finally found effective ways to improve my skills. When I started to play live and in studio, I definitely made a lot of mistakes. But we all learn from our mistakes, and so I used every single mistake and every experience to improve. Many people who had seen me live or had seen one of my first YouTube videos back then asked me about my strange double bass technique. So I decided to record the double bass technique tutorial. I know how glad I was about every little bit of information that I found online, so it just felt kind of natural to give something back to the community and to help others. Right now, the double bass technique tutorial has more than 1.8 million views, which I would never have dreamt of back when I recorded it.
Back around 4 or 5 years ago, there were just 5 videos on this channel. There was no Facebook page, no Instagram, and around 1,700 subscribers on YouTube. One of those 5 videos was the bass drum technique tutorial, which was already around 2.5 years on the channel. At this time we filmed the blast beat technique and the double stroke fill-in tutorial. Yeah, and editing videos obviously takes a lot of time, and Wanja was very busy and focused on drumming. As his younger brother, I know Wanja from my whole life, and I know how passionate he is about drumming and also how good he is and how much he progresses. And I always saw the great potential that he has. To make sure that he can really focus on drumming, I came up with the idea to team up with him and to film the videos, to cut them, upload them, make photos, and a lot of work behind the scenes. So we started this adventure, not knowing where it would go, but with the clear vision in our minds to do what we absolutely love, make a living from it, and to inspire, help and motivate others. Although we know it would be very, very hard and challenging. But when you have a dream, you need to fight for it. So we made a Facebook page and began to publish new videos on a weekly basis on YouTube. All that with the few resources we just had at the time. Just one camera, no mics, just the raw camera sound, improvised light with a desk lamp. And yeah, we worked a lot. We definitely put a lot of time, passion and also money into it.
And looking back is kind of crazy. It has been an incredible journey up to here. The social media followings have more than 30-fold, up to over 50,000 people from all over the world. When I started drumming, I was alone in my basement, but as I became better, more and more doors opened and I began playing in many bands. Back in March last year, when I heard that Keep of Kalessin were searching for a new drummer, I knew instantly that I definitely had to take this chance. And so I applied for the spot. The thing with Keep of Kalessin is very special for me, because, well, I began listening to them like 10 years ago and also practiced a lot to their music on the floor of my basement. And now I'm their drummer. This is also a dream which became reality, and back then it seemed to be so far away and maybe even unreachable. But our dreams are what really drive us, and it is important to believe in yourself and to be dedicated, to work hard and to get yourself the right tools. Then you will reach your dreams.